And right now, we are 2 minutes away from the end of the trading day. Romaine Bostick alongside Katie Greifeld taking you through to that closing bell. It's a global
you're
simulcast.
back at work, are you?
Oh my gosh, there's Carol Massar. I haven't seen her all week long.
Taking
Carol
some
Massar.
time off, huh?
Bailey Lipshultz in today, I assume.
Romaine, all I'm going to say is that I was on Monday. We were up 1.5%. We're up today. I'm the lucky charm. If you guys want to buy some call options, bring me on.
Bailey Lipshultz, the bookend to quite a wild week here on Wall Street. Carol Massar, a week. The stocks are going to end up on the day and on the week, something that kind of surprising given what happened in between Monday and Friday.
It's kind of crazy, all the stuff that's come at us and the moves that we've seen, the market gyrations, concerns about regional banks and credit. But it does feel like, coming off that press conference out of the White House, that maybe U.S.-China, those trade tensions easing, and it just seems like we're making some progress on a lot of fronts. Investors.
With China?
Well...
I mean, conversation's better than no conversation is kind of
right.
my read. So as long as Bessent's staying in touch with his counterpart, it seems like at least investors liked it. We were essentially unchanged around 2 o'clock. Now we're up 0.5% on the S&P 500 and NASDAQ hanging in there a bit better as we head into the weekend. Hey, guys, just want to keep in mind, normally you don't want to be long risk over a weekend, but here we are.
Yeah. Here we are. And it is a good point that at least conversations are happening.
Smiling.
We heard from the president this morning saying that he's still going to meet with President Xi. So there you have it, Romaine.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah. And look, we talk about the idea that next week geopolitics will be in big focus, of course, with the president and a lot of his surrogates traveling around the globe at a time where Washington is still shut down and earnings season will start to pick up, at least for right now. The market has put all of that together, and they are optimistic. Maybe there is progress on the trade front. You're heading into an earnings season where you're seeing revisions moving to the upside, and some of the other issues out there for right now not showing any potential for systemic risk. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up more than 200 points, or 0.5% on the day. The S&P up 35 points, or 0.5% on the day. The Nasdaq Composite up 100 points, or 0.5% on the day. But looky-loo here. Here's your laggard on the day, and it is the Russell 2000, down about 15 points, or about 0.6%. Still some concerns about what's going on in the small and mid-cap space, particularly when it comes to some of those small and mid-cap financials.
All right, back to the big caps we go. And folks, yeah, definitely much more of a bullish tone here in the S&P 500, Katie. 362 names in the index gaining ground on this Friday, and you've got 140 to the downside, one unchanged.
Yeah, pretty decent breadth. And you're going to see that when we take a look at the circle right now. So much green on this screen. Tech, of course, is a big gainer today, but so too is consumer staples, financials, energy, communication services. Those are some of your best performers right now. So real risk appetite revival going on. In terms of what didn't do too well, utilities and materials, but again, very risk on.
A lot of green there. All right, so let's get to some of the individual gainers. No surprise, I'm going to go to those regional bank names. Zions Bancorp rallying after that 13% decline yesterday, up almost 6% in today's session as a new set of earnings from some of the regional lenders were solid. So easing concerns about credit quality at some of the regional banks. So you look at Zions, it was up 5.8%. Truist, which came out with earnings today, they were up about 3.7%. And then Fifth Third, that stock gained about 1.3%. I also do want to mention on Zions, upgraded to outperform from neutral at Baird, with the analysts noting that the sell-off seemed excessive. So we definitely see some movement in those regionals to the upside. Got to mention American Express, that one of the top gainers in the S&P 500, a gain of more than 7% in today's session. Amex reported earnings that beat expectations after unveiling that long-anticipated platinum credit card refresh last month.
Yeah.
It costs a lot. You get more benefits.
So
it costs a lot.
Can we talk about this?
Sure.
Because as someone who now is on the hook for, what is it, $8.95?
It's a lot.
Or whatever it is, and that's on top of, what you pay for, all these other high-end cards as well. I need your help, Carol Massar.
Okay, I'm here to serve you, Romaine. What do you need?
Oh, wow. Okay. Anyway, I need your credit card.
No, I know.
Can you put me on your family plan or something?
No.
Sweet.
But you also have to pay for everybody else who's on the plan. I'm like, kid's 22. I'm like, you're on your own now.
Wow.
No,
love.
not completely, But no, it's like, I don't know. Do the benefits outweigh the cost?
I don't know. We're about to find out, though. I mean, because it's certainly all these prices keep going up. What else you got, Carol?
All right, one more thing for you. Kenvue, guys. That was up about 8.4% in today's session, up the most since August 2024, at least on an intraday basis, rebounding from a sharp sell-off yesterday that sent shares to a record low on news of a lawsuit in the UK related to the use of talc baby powder. We know that that's been out there. Bloomberg Intelligence coming out and saying the size of Thursday's stock tumble dwarfs the claim size of the UK suit. So investors may be agreeing with that, and so coming back into that stock.
Yeah, we're talking about stocks in the green. Let's look at the stocks in the red, or assets in the red. Gold peeling back from a pretty sharp rally. So we saw a number of companies that mine the precious metal under pressure. I want to focus on Newmont, ticker NEM, down more than 7.5%, one of its worst days in quite some time, but still up more than 140% this year alone. Guys, this does also come after legendary investor Bill Gross came out saying that gold could be either a meme asset or a momentum asset. So certainly a bit of pouring a bit of cold water on that rally, but still, again, precious metal up quite a bit. Also want to talk about one of the more important stocks in the world, and that is Oracle, falling the most since January 27th, down almost 7%. This is, again, a top 10 company, depending how you want to look at it, falling after suggesting that investors anticipate a smaller boost from AI infrastructure spending. This is a company that's partnered with OpenAI, Meta, Elon Musk's XAI, so dialing back their long-range financial outlook. Guys, I don't know about you, but I feel like this was kind of the entire bull case for the market, and want to quickly hit on.
They're still up 75% this year.
Well, still up 75%. Still, I don't know, what did I say? $830 billion in market cap. But focusing quickly on a smaller company, Hims & Hers, we saw sell-off in Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly after President Trump talking about cutting the cost of those GLP-1s. Well, that hit Hims & Hers, ticker HIMS, down 16%. They helped distribute some of these shots to consumers using their apps. So certainly a rough day, depending where you sit in the health ecosystem.
Well, overall, with equities, though, we did see a bit of a relief rally, if you will. You also saw a bit of relief in the Treasury market as well. Treasury's down on a price basis, which pushes the yields higher across the curve, 3 to 4 basis points on the shorter end of the curve, about 2 to 1 on the longer end of the curve as well. And before we get to whatever illustrious chat that Carol Massar has, I do want to just bring something to the attention here. And this involves Mark Benioff, of course, a co-founder of Salesforce, who I guess caused some ructions when he basically said that he wanted the National Guard to actually be sent, federal troops, I should say, to be sent into San Francisco. Now backing off that statement, basically on a post on X right now, basically saying that he's listened closely to his fellow San Franciscans and local officials, and says he does not believe that the National Guard is needed to address safety in San Francisco. I bring this up, of course, because this caused a lot of debate right now. San Francisco is going through a lot, and a lot of the big tech executives there have different ideas of the best way to address that.
All right, so sincerely apologizing for the concern that it caused. All right, a headline crossing the Bloomberg terminal. All right, now let's get to some of the stories that are on our radar. And, you know, we've obviously talked a lot about credit concerns today and coming off of tomorrow, concerns about some of the regional banks. Well, one of the other areas that everybody, of course, has been looking because of some of the concerns with car loans. A great story on the Bloomberg that talks about how they have become the riskiest consumer credit products over the past 15 years. The thinking is you have a car loan, you're going to pay for that. And so consumers tend to prioritize that. But delinquencies on car loans defined as 60 days or more past due jumped 51.5% from the first quarter of 2010 through the first quarter of 2025. So a big change here. Yeah,
big change, and partly that's driven by higher interest rates, but also just the cost of new cars. So according to the report, since 2019, new car prices have risen more than 25% and now top $50,000 on average. So maybe the initial bet was that you can afford, I don't know, a $23,000 Mazda, but now if it's going to cost twice that and your interest rate is ballooning your actual payment, people aren't making those payments, guys.
We should point out, though, Ally Financial did actually report earnings earlier, and of course a big player in the auto lending industry, at least for them specifically. They're saying that they're not necessarily seeing any real stress.
Let's go from auto to alcohol, because this was an interesting one.
Never mix the two, though.
No, definitely not. Don't drink and drive. But anyway, the government shutdown, apparently it's halted Treasury Department approvals that alcoholic beverage makers must obtain before they introduce new products, or that before they actually make changes to recipes or labels. And I have to admit, I did not know that that was under the Treasury Department's purview.
So this is like basically like if you have seasonal, like a pumpkin spice beer or something like that. Basically, if you want to change the formula just for a season, you have to basically put in an application with the Treasury. They have to sign off on it, and then you can start selling it. Not that anyone would actually drink that.
Why Treasury?
Oh my gosh.
Romaine
Are you
actually
serious?
knows this.
This goes back taxation. I mean, prohibition. Did you go to school?
No, apparently not.
I mean, no, they have a long history of policing this, you know. So there you go.
Billy, did you know that?
I did not know that, but I
Okay.
do drink seasonal beverages, though. So maybe, I don't know, is this going to affect my winter lager, or is it more like
I could
summer
see you cracking open a pumpkin brew. You know?
But I have one question, though. I would think that all of those applications would have been in already.
That's
mean,
why
it is
I assume it's
mid-October.
winter, right?
I mean,
Not
if you're...
summer? I mean,
Yeah, if you're
or
putting in
summer.
your
Yeah.
nog thing, and, you know, of course, you know, this is that time of year, guys. If you're a Chicagoan, it could be Goose Island release.
All right, good stuff.
Chocolate stout. It's a
All right.
fan favorite.
All right, are you done?
No. Bailey, you have something else to say?
Come on.
I mean, you've been the lucky charm
Yeah, give us
for
something.
this week.
feeling like
I really got
the
nothing.
bullish
Yeah,
tone's
you know,
gonna
we're
follow
gonna
into
keep
next
the good
week?
vibes. Maybe, probably not.
Are you coming back next week? Or
I
you
will
have-
be back.
you
I
have to
won't
make
actually
room
be
for
on
Tim.
radio though. Tim's back.
Tim will be back.
Okay, Tim's
Tim-
okay.
All right,
Yeah,
fine.
I like him.
I like him too.
Yeah.